What's going on, everyone? So the Lakers got the win today, and it was a huge win. This game was frustrating, exciting, heart-pounding. it just had everything. It was definitely a roller coaster. Now, obviously, that's not how you want to start games. Go down 27 points. To be fair, the Dallas Mavericks just shot the lights out. They shot like 65% at one point from three. The Lakers just couldn't throw a rock in the ocean. So that doesn't help at all either. And it wasn't even just like lack of defense. We definitely picked up the defensive intensity. But we were closing guys out. We were doing what we needed to do. It's just guys were just hitting shots. And the Lakers just couldn't buy a bucket. And as soon as we got it to 14 going into the half, I really felt we could win. I mean, I even made a community post talking about how this was like the best case scenario for us. We were able to weather the storm and get it manageable. That's the thing, manageable. And then that third quarter was great. Jared Vanderbilt. Let's start there. Jared Vanderbilt was just so impressive, man. This guy is unbelievable. He is everywhere. I made a video earlier today just talking about Jared Vanderbilt. Usually I do this video first. I had to get the Jared Vanderbilt video out because he just deserves all the love. He is the kind of guy that might be the third most valuable player. And I said this briefly, so I'm not going to go too much into it because I do have an entire video about it. So go check that out if you want like my full breakdown of Jared Vanderbilt. But the reason I think he might be the third most valuable, D'Lo is going to be the third most impactful, right? He's the guy that's with the playmaking, the scoring, being the third guy. He's going to have a real big impact on just kind of, picking up the slack in many ways and just being another threat. Jared Vanderbilt, in my opinion, is the X factor. But the reason I think he might be the third most valuable is it's easier to find that third guy to just come in and just kind of be a scorer, little bit of playmaking when you have LeBron James. It is really hard to find a guy this defensively in tune, a guy that can essentially guard all five positions. He has the strength, has the physicality, has the athleticism, is a hustle, grit, and grind guy. I mean, the guy just does everything. He was the MVP of this game. He single-handedly changed the course of this game. Guarded Luka, kept Luka well below his average, was everywhere. This guy was menacing, absolutely menacing. Add into the fact of Anthony Davis, right? Anthony Davis was great. Had the game that we all wanted to see, all that. But this is what I've talked about with him and LeBron. We know Anthony Davis can do this. We know he can go give you 30 and 15. We know LeBron James can go give you, 38 and 8 a game. But if we don't need it, then why? This game, we needed it. We needed it badly. We needed Anthony Davis to go give us 30. We needed LeBron James to go give us, he's 26. We needed that. But if it's a game and we're just coasting and Anthony Davis gets, 12 and 12, then who cares? The only thing that matters is winning the basketball game. If it doesn't call for LeBron James and Anthony Davis to give us 30, then we don't need them to give us 30. Why? For what? To get other guys out of rhythm? No. Play the game the way it needs to be played and let the game unfold and develop the way that it does. And that's what we did. It wasn't really working. So what do? We dump it down to AD. We allow LeBron to go get some easy buckets. And then guys started picking up. Malik Beasley hits a big three. Guys start, kind of waking up a bit. Guys lock down defensively, start going on a run. You just felt this team is different. I say it time and time again. The team a couple weeks ago would have lost by 30. They would have. This team, you felt like when they were going on a run, you're like, uh-oh, they're coming. Here it comes. We're here, baby. Here it is. And that's exactly what they did. And they just kept tacking away. It's a different team. It's a different feel. Guys, this is just a lot more talented of a roster. We have more weapons, more just defense too. More size. You see that significance. You see that size. This is what you want. And this game in general was a huge just builder for this Lakers team. These are the kind of games that build chemistry, build belief, build, just the ins and outs of a team, that grit, that grind, that commitment, right? It builds just everything you want. Now, obviously not 27 points. It's not what you want. But, those large comeback deficits. And there will be games where we go down 20 and we just don't come back and win. It happens, right? Every team has those games. But you just feel like you have a chance every night with this team. Every game with this team. You just feel like, okay, like everything's going to be all right. The only game that we've lost with this team is a Portland team that shut the lights out from start to finish no matter what we did. Didn't matter what we did, what we threw at them. They had a historic, literally a historic game, and it took that to beat us. And I'm not saying we're going to go undefeated and we're going to sweep the rest of the way, but we are a much better team. And it shows. And we're still learning. This is a team that has to figure out in 25 games, essentially, what teams have had an entire season, training camp, off-season, preseason, to figure out the chemistry, the relationships, the just development of the team. And this team has to expedite that. And they have done a really good job. Really good job. All I heard was that this was the one test, right? This was it. Dallas, a team that has 2 stars, a team that, it has all this firepower and this, that, and the other, like a legit playoff team. We've beaten Scrap so far, all of it. I've heard all of it. And they went out there and they did their job. And they did their job even after being down 27 when they could have just laid down and lost this game. But they kept grinding. They didn't have D'Lo. I'm sure he would have helped, especially early on, because he can just go get his own shot. And we've seen a couple games already where shots aren't falling and D'Lo will just go get a bucket. So he might have helped establish this team and just and early on. So it maybe look, we still would have been down a lot in the first quarter and stuff like that, but it might not have been as bad, right? We might have not, instead of going down 20, we might have been down like 15, and then by the third quarter, maybe we had a lead going into the fourth or whatever. But regardless, we still won the game, so who cares, right? But we won this game on the back of our defense. We shot like 18% from 3, and we still won the game. They made 23s, and we still won the game. We kept them to 108 points. We are number 1 in the league in defense since we've gotten this new trade, this new roster. We are top 5 in offense. We're number 6, I believe, actually right now. But I imagine we move into the top 5 by the time this season is done. I really think Lakers are probably top 5 in offense and top 5 in defense from the point of the trade. So from the point of the trade to the end of the season, so that like 25 games or whatever it was to start, I think the Lakers will be top 5 in both categories. And if that is, then that's a championship. That's a contending team. If they're top 5 offense, top 5 defense, that's a contending team. And we're making a push. We're making a run. We're doing everything that we need to. The only thing that kind of drives me crazy is like, we got to do, not the Lakers, but like the fan base. We got to do a better job of just letting things unfold, right? That's something that I want to briefly talk about, because I got so many insane comments of like, it's over, we lost, just chalk it up, like, Lakers suck, blah, 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 like, and it's just like, there's still 3 quarters left. Like, I get we're down 27, I get that there's that fear of like, okay, and I get that there's a part of us that, we have this like trauma almost of like the past Laker teams, right? The last few years, but it's a different team, And again, I'm not saying that every time we go down 27, expect us to come back and win, but we have a shot with this team every night. We do have to do a better job opening games. I think some of that has to do with just chemistry and just trying to get fit, right? Like finding the ins and outs of like, okay, well, who's going to start us off? Are we going AD? Are we going LeBron? Are we going to see if Beasley? If we're going to try to get Beasley hot early? If he's not falling, okay, D'Lo, you're going to handle some of our early scoring offense in the first quarter. No, we got to start establishing that, kind of getting a groove a little bit. But this Laker team it's a team that they just, for whatever reason, they start slow, they pick up. I mean, some of that might just be, LeBron James is older, so he's got to kind of get his legs under him through the course of the game. AD, you got to get him established. So you got to get him established throughout the course of the game. Beasley is a volume shooter, so he's either hot and cold. He's got to see a couple drop first. But that's also why I think D'Angelo Russell is so valuable. That's why I think That's why I said I think he has the biggest impact, because he's going to be the guy that, like, a game like this, he could have just gotten like 10 straight points for us and kind of just kept us in the game. That I think is something that is very valuable. But I'm loving this team. I really am. This team is just so much fun to watch, so refreshing, so different than what we saw a couple weeks ago. And I really do think that we have a real shot. We still have an uphill battle to climb. I don't want to, lock it in, go put the mortgage on the Lakers, nothing like that. But I do like what we're seeing. I do think we have a real chance, a real shot. And I think good things are coming. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think of this Laker team? What did you think of this win? Were you excited? Do you have belief? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, let me know. Love to hear it down in the comments below.